He's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, but also he's not the flashiest, but he is the one averaging 30 points per game and is the league MVP. So in this video, we're going to break down the 3 main ways he is destroying every team in the playoffs. Let's dive into it. The first way how Shai is destroying in the playoffs is his craftiness and pace inside the paint. So let's say he gets by his defender in whatever way, he gets here, but now he's not in a rush. So he's not looking to speed by the person and try to automatically score. So he's not only looking at one option. So let's say he gets into the paint, he's not seeing that gap and just rushing to the rim every single time. He's able to get inside the paint, control his body, control his speed, and he's seeing everything that's going on. He's actually able to make handles in tight spaces or handle moves in tight spaces and then be able to make a play out of that. On top of his pace inside the paint, he's able to finish in different ways. Because of that pace, he gets down low, he's able to see the different angles and not rush. Most players who rush typically finish in one way. They're just trying to go get a dunk or just finish over top of that player. If I can play with pace, I can get down here, then I can see an angle that opens up because maybe somebody cuts and now I'm able to get right by them and I can kind of jump to the side or maybe get to like an up and under type finish. So his craftiness is a play off of his pace inside the paint. The second way how Shai is dominating in playoffs is off his step backs. So he's able to get into these step backs in 2 different ways. The first way is just off the general isolation. So he's able to size up his defender and then get into his move. The second way is off the pick and roll because now he's able to get the switch. So if he comes with the pick, now he's able to get the switch on the defender, and typically that's going to be a big, so the big doesn't really want to guard Shai all the way to the 3-point line, and he's able to give him that step back, create a little space, and then get into his shot. Now, Shai's main go-to step back move is off that inside leg. So he likes to get set up because he's a right-handed shooter. He likes the ball in his left hand. He steps with his inside foot and dribbles at the same time. So what that does is that forces the defender to take a step back. Now he's able to pull back off that, set his feet, and then raise into that shot. The reason why his step back is so effective is because his ability to change pace and actually blow past the defender. Because he's a threat to actually get into the mid-range, the defender has to respect that and take that step back. Now when he steps back, he creates that extra little space to be able to raise into his jump shot. So the second reason why this form of his step back is so effective is because he's actually able to protect the basketball and create a lot of space. Most people like to, now when they get in their step back, they like to keep the ball in front of them and kind of do like a side step and keep that ball exposed. Shai still protects that basketball, so he's able to take that inside step, makes that defender maybe take a step back, but now the ball's behind him. Now he's able to just pull that leg back and then get into his shot. So on that step back, he's able to pull it back. If he wants to, he can cross over and go because he's out of that protected stance and the ball is not exposed. The last way he is dominating in these playoffs is off of his controlled fadeaways in the mid-range. So let's say he gets past his defender, off the pick or off the ISO, he's able to get to his spot in the mid-range, but then also be able to get a controlled fadeaway into his shot. So he's able to create that small distance in his shot. So he's not really falling away, kind of like Kobe or maybe Michael Jordan, but he's just slightly fading away, creating a little bit of space between him and his defender, and he's able to get that shot over top of him. There are 2 ways how Shai really gets into those controlled fadeaways inside the mid-range. The first way is off his bump and his physicality. So he likes to get past his defender, and when the defender tries to slide and cut him off or try to be aggressive and just slide with him, he's able to bump him with his inside shoulder. Like we said, he likes to go left, bump with that right leg or that right shoulder, they go flying, create that space. Now he's able to pull that right foot back and then just slightly fade away, so he's able to create that extra space away from the defender. Because if he bumps them and let's say they don't go flying back, but they take a slight step back, they're still able to close that distance with the closeout. So with that controlled fade, off that bump, now he's able to create that little bit of extra space so the defender can't get to that shot and he's still able to knock it down. The second way is based off of his patience or his pace inside the paint when we talked about in the first section. So he's able to get by his defender off maybe like a move, and then he's able to get in here, slow down, play off pace, maybe make a second move, and then get right into that fade. Or he posts up sometimes, so he gets to his spot, now he's able to face up, he's patient, makes a move to the middle, to the baseline, then he might get into that bump, and then get into the fade. So he's able to set this up in different ways, not the same way every single time, but he's always looking to get to that controlled fadeaway. Now we're going to give you guys a handful of drills to help you guys add some of these skills into your game. The first drill, we're gonna work on that isolation into his step back. So I want you guys to stay at the top of the key. I want you guys to think game winner situation. So you're just gonna walk your defender down, hit him with a couple moves, but it's not too fast. You're really just walking them down, crossing them over, setting them up. Once you get to your spot that you're comfortable to shoot from, then I want you to swing your inside leg, take that step dribble at the same time, place that leg back, then raise into that shot. Remember, keep that ball protected. So it's not a forward step exposing the basketball. You actually want to turn your shoulder. So let's say you get into your move, turn that shoulder in, jab after your defender just like that, make them step back, replace that leg, then raise into your shot. For this drill specifically, I want you guys to make 10 shots going each way. So setting up with your left hand, jabbing with your right foot, and then setting up with your right hand, jabbing with your left foot. With our second drill, we're still setting up that step back, but this time we're gonna focus on coming off that pick and roll. So if you're more of a guard who likes to use pick and roll, or you're in an offense that uses pick and roll, this will be great for you. So you're gonna start off nice and high, same thing. Walk your defender down, get set up. Once you use that chair or whatever you're using, you wanna get below the screen. So if the screen's right here, you don't wanna be above it super high. You wanna be nice and below the screen so you can actually come off. Once you get here, I want you guys to actually come off the screen, stay nice and tight. But now you guys get that switch, the big steps up on you. So come here, just step on that inside leg, dribble on that outside hand, and then raise into that shot. So I want you guys to remember, when you guys are coming off the pick and roll, I don't want you guys to come off and do a bunch of moves on this switch. I want you to keep that ball on the outside hand. So as you come off, you notice you get that switch and immediately get right to that jab, pull back right into that shot. For the sets and reps, I want you guys to go both sides. So coming from both wings, getting 10 shots or 10 makes from both sides. For our crafty finishes and pace inside the paint, we're gonna work first out of that mid-post catch. So you're gonna catch here, you should be facing away from the hoop. Now you're gonna reverse pivot and face up. On this face up, I want you guys just to jab towards the baseline. On that jab, driving towards the middle. Now, once you drive towards the middle, I want you guys to envision help side is sliding over to stop you because you actually got past your defender. So instead of being able to go and finish right over top of them, dunk on them, we're trying to be crafty. So we're gonna get here. Now we're going to slide by our defender. So we're jumping to the right side or jumping to the side of them that they're not on in that little bitty gap. And then we're trying to go finish. So imagine we get faced up here, jab, drive. We got one defender on our side, but we got by them, defender coming over in front of us. So now there's a gap right in between them. We get here, we slide through that gap, and then we're able to finish. For this drill, I want you guys to set up on both sides, making sure you guys drive towards the middle every single time, but you guys are going to finish both right and left hand, 10 makes each. Now for this drill, we're going to really tie in that pace in his handle, right? So we're gonna get at the top of the key. I want you guys just to give me a simple double crossover, whatever you want. So let's say you go between and front. On that between and front, now you're driving downhill quick. Then I want you to give me a pause dribble. So right, you're gonna hang here on this bounce, maybe even think about creating contact, hang here, and then you're gonna take one more dribble, one step right into your finish. So you're keeping that ball out, you're gonna scoop it up, and you're keeping it on the outside of your body. Because when you get here, you freeze that defender, they stop, maybe you bump. Now you can take one dribble, keep it away, and then just scoop it right to the rim as fast as you can. For the sets and reps for this drill, I want you guys to go both ways, making 10 layups on each hand. Remember, you guys need to be using your pace, so don't rush on that dribble. So once you blow by, really hang out on that bounce, completely stop, and then explode out and get to your scoop finish. For our last drill, working on that controlled fadeaway in the mid-range, I want you guys to start at the nail. So you're gonna go to the free throw line that is right in the middle of the free throw. So you're gonna get nice and low, taking that first dribble, then you're going to wrap to the side. Your guys' goal is to try to get to the second hash mark. I don't want you guys to go lateral, so straight across. So it shouldn't look straight across like this. I want you guys to wrap and go downhill at the same time. So it's dribble, wrap. On that wrap, I want you to take that ball, dribble and step on the inside leg. That's your bump. You're gonna replace that foot back and then turn, get into that controlled fadeaway. So a little detail on your guys' bump. After you wrap, you get to that spot. On your bump, I want you to use mainly your shoulder and kind of like a chicken wing. Sometimes Shai can get into a position where he blurs the line a little bit as an offensive foul. So he'll get here and he might extend a little too far. Like I said, that blurs the line. You want to be able to get here, use your shoulder and your elbow and kind of tuck it in, use more of a chicken wing, and then jump back into that controlled fadeaway so you're not fully extending and potentially getting offensive foul. So tuck that shoulder or tuck the elbow, use your shoulder on your bump so you get here, bump, and then be able to get into your controlled fadeaway, not extending your arm. For this drill, I want you guys to go both ways, going left and right, getting that controlled fadeaway both ways. I want you guys to make 10 shots each way. If you guys are looking to play more like Shai, I want you guys to remember it comes down to two things: pace and physicality. I don't want you guys going too fast where you're always rushing, but I don't want you going too slow either. It's a blend of both worlds. But like I said, being physical, taking those bumps, making those bumps, and creating space to finish in crafty ways around the paint. So I want you guys to remember, if you guys want a little bit more help with your shooting form, go to the pinned comment down below and grab our ultimate shooting checklist.